So doctor, we'll see the questions.
Myself Srikanth, I am from Amrita School of Arts and Science, Kochi. What should be the ideal weight of a person?
I believe I have already answered that question. The ideal body weight should be, if you take a very simple calculation, it has to be 100 minus from your height in centimeters. Suppose if it is 180 centimeters height, then the ideal body weight, the upper limit of the ideal body weight should be 80 kilogram. So you can easily calculate what is the ideal body weight.
Okay, doctor, we'll see the next question.
Yeah.
I am Sharat Kumar, studying Master of Computer Application in Amrita School of Arts and Science. Okay. My problem is I have only 55 kiloweights and I have a height of 182 centimeters. But how to gain weight naturally?
Okay.
So I believe your ideal body weight should be at least 75 kgs. As he is having 182 centimeters, at least 75 to 80 should be. He is only 55.
That means
he is really underweight, because the BMI should be less than 18. So ideally you have to have a medical checkup just to see whether there is any cause of the undernutrition or going your weight. And again you have to see whether he has gained weight and he lost some weight recently. And again he has to be investigated. Just like the thyroid hormones, whether he is having a hypothyroidism or the GIT, you have to examine. So it is always better to go to a doctor, get examined and investigation, and if no problem is there, it is just to increase your intake. Like the high calorie diet you can take, high protein diet. If I think there are a lot of dietitians available in all the hospitals, go to a dietitian and get a 3000 or 3500 kilocalorie high protein diet sheet and start eating.
Okay, doctor, nowadays there are a lot of vitamin supplements or protein supplements in the form of tablets and all those things. Is it useful?
You have to be very careful about these protein supplements, especially you can see that in many gyms they are giving these powders and all, but you have to make sure that this doesn't contain any steroids, because some companies they will produce these things and add steroids, so that would be really not good for your health. So you have to ideally you have to, under the prescription of a doctor, you have to take these things. Don't go and buy these things and take it. Before that, as I said earlier, you have to get investigated if there is any weight loss or any cause for this one. Many patients we are having this hypothyroidism. So if the thyroid hormone is high, you won't gain weight. There will be a loss of weight. So this has to be investigated, then only you have to take. Otherwise, I think for a normal person, there is no need for any supplementaries. You can include it in your normal diet. And it is economical also. As I am telling, the one egg has got a 3 grams protein. To get that 3 gram protein in tablets forms or in the powder form, you have to give at least, I think, the 10 times of, for an egg you have got only 4 rupees.
Yeah, right.
You have to spend almost 40 rupees. So the better go for the natural food and to get just find out which is the high calorie diet and go for that.
Okay, doctor. So we'll go to the other question.
My name is Satul Satyet. I am doing MCA from Amrita School of Arts and Science. I have a question for that. What are the problems with obesity?
Okay.
As I told earlier, the obesity, the problems with the obesity is, the list is increasing. There are almost 65 diseases we have already identified as the direct cause of the obesity. To mention about the common diseases, the main thing is the diabetes mellitus. So the diabetes, as I told you earlier, it is increasing alarmingly. And our India is the diabetic capital of the world, because at present it is calculated that almost 300 million people are in the world is obese. Diabetic, and almost 62 million. That is the last 2011 statistics. 62 million people are diabetic from India. That is almost one-fifth of the diabetic population in the world is from India. And not only that, the real concern about the physician is that the younger people are becoming diabetic, like between 30, 40, 50 years. That is the productive period of their life, So the diabetes is one disease you have to be very careful, and you have to deal very seriously. In the sense, the diabetes is just like a cancer. It affects all of your body, from head to toe. It affects all your bodies, and it is a slowly killing disease. It affects your heart, your eyes, your kidneys, your nerves, whatever the cells are there in your, it will produce. And we are concerned about the end organ failures, because it will damage the organs, and that is how the people, now it is calculated that in every 10 seconds one patient, one individual, one person is dying of diabetes or its complication. 1 in 10 seconds. That is again calculated that 10 seconds is again reducing. Even 1 in 5 seconds there is a person is dying of diabetes. So it is a disease which is very we have to take very seriously, and especially in our country, and especially in the youth, because that is the productive period of their life, and once becomes in 40 years or 33 years, he is going to be crippled in the sense his lifestyle change, he has to take medicines, he cannot travel, and many patients are coming to us. In addition to the diabetes, the other thing you have to be careful is the heart disease and the hypertension, the varicose veins, the sleep apnea. The patient, you can see that the obese patients will get snoring, and the sleep apnea means they may not know that in between their sleep the oxygen saturation will go down, and they will stop breathing at a point. That point the hypothalamus will act and the patient will awake from the sleeping. So that is a dangerous situation in the sense that for some time the oxygen saturation in our body is so low, and that is it happens every day, whenever he sleeps it happens. That will damage our organs, especially the brain and all. So these patients are eventually, they will develop some other diseases. So sleep apnea is another disease, and as I told, various type of the cancers. So these are the common diseases you can get with the obesity.